Bro, I'm so hyped for this. Alright, hopefully this doesn't break. Why is it not started? Refresh. Okay. Alright. Bro, I'm so ready for this event. Okay. I'm gonna hope that there's no... Well, so I'm not like... I didn't search up anything about this event, and I'm just touching it now for the first time. So it's like... What's the... How do I say? Like, I'm trying to not get spoiled, so I'm not gonna look anything up until I'm like done with the event. But yeah. So I'm trying to do it as soon as possible. So it is a little bit late. So sorry if I sound like I'm dying. Just gotta be a little bit quieter than normal. But yeah. Okay, first, let me... Please, are you in? Okay, no, give me 920 by 1080. Thank you. And now let me check my OBS. Dude, why is it not fit? It's not snapping. Did this the first time too. Ooh. It snapped for a second there. Alright, I think it's good. I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. Because I think it's good. Alright. Also, I really just want to get into the game. Okay. Dude, what? Bro, no way. Dude, that's crazy. That's really nice. Okay. Alright. Did I do my dailies? No, I didn't. Alright, actually that's fine because I want to save my energy in case the event needs it. Okay, first we're gonna look at the... What's these coin values? Okay. Wait, wasn't his skill 3 have like a... Alright. Ooh, 3 attack. Wait, that's cool. Although we really want to get to the event. No, but that doesn't even matter. Where is it? Here we go. Also, I really want to see his values. 11. Oh, that goes up to 14. Dude, 14 on a 3-coiner is insane on a skill 1, dude. It's actually crazy. Okay, the skill 2 is not super powerful because only 1 coin power on that. Like that would have been really good like a while ago, but it's not really up to date. Okay, 3 attack weight with 4 coins. Unfocused volley. I don't know how I feel about this unfocused volley thing. Like hitting 1 target among specific 3, like it's too random. Okay, was there coin power on it? Okay, coin power, clash power, okay. Oh, 2 coin power. Alright. That's fine. Oh, exalted command. What's the... Oh, it's not gonna tell you. Alright, it's whatever. Okay. Dude, I'm so hyped for this. I'm actually so hyped. Bonus units. Okay. 20% gain. Bro. This is ridiculous. Why is it only Sinclair? I know he's like the one training or whatever, but dude, why do they not let you gain from oh, actually that idea makes sense. I don't know why they don't let you gain from whatever it is. Okay. I'm gonna go stages. we're just gonna get right into it. Dude, I'm so hyped. The trailer looked so good for this. The hall was chill with a tense air, and those present all sat in complete silence. Then there was Jia Yuan Chun. Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. I'm not gonna read anything correctly, so I apologize in advance. But it feels too awkward to have text on the screen that a character's not voicing, so I'm just gonna be reading to the best of my ability, and I hope that's good enough. With her lips slightly curled into a mirthless sneer, and at the center of it all sat Jia Ji-chun, unsure of what to say next. Wait, there's no way. Hold on. It's not voiced. Oh my god, it's not. Wait. It's not voiced. Okay, hold on, let me check if OBS, if it's picking up the audio. Okay, it is. Alright. Dude, it's not voiced. Okay. That's okay. Oh, that's gonna be a lot of reading. Oh, okay. You know, I'll just try to do it quickly. Well, everyone. Oh, this is so difficult. Jia Yuan Chun, seated next to the hierarch seat upon which Ji Chun sat, smoothly takes control of the situation and begins the assembly. Honored heads of houses, lords of each family, the proxy members, and she nods lightly, acknowledging our awkward presence. And little Ji Chun's guests, who stay here at our H Corp, seems to be extending without a foreseeable end. Isn't she technically from Q Corp? What's up with her acting like she's any less of an outsider than we are? Yeah, and did everyone catch that? Our H Corp? Regardless of everything else, the fact that she hijacked the meeting from the get-go is ridiculous, especially with Jia Ji-chun, the family hierarch herself, presiding over this official assembly. Clearly, she is using the pretense of assisting the hierarch to assert her own dominance over these proceedings. As we are all aware, venerable former Jia Mu has always discussed with and confided in me about matters of the greatest import, the momentous of which steered the very course of H Corp's prospects. Even after I departed from the family for Q Corp, venerable former Jia Mu has always written missives? Always written missives to confer such matters with me. Something about it smelled suspicious, but we'd already missed the window to challenge her to present us with proof without breaking decorum. Thus, as it naturally follows that I would be the inferior of the venerable Jia... Is it Jia Mu's will, I shall be presiding over this regular assembly, which we convene now to discuss and to determine the future of H Corp. What a grandiose and self-important introduction. It seemed clear to me that she considered herself to be the main character of this scene, or something. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm like reading all this, but I don't think I'm absorbing any of this information. Like, I feel like when I'm like reading in my head, I like understand a lot more. But like when I'm reading out loud, I'm just focusing on reading and I'm not really like understanding what I'm reading, you know? Your grace certainly befits your station, Lady Yuan Chun. We are all impressed by your utmost dedication to the citizenry of Hongyuan, despite your already saturated schedule. We can hardly thank you enough for your magnanimity. Magnanimity, Lady Yuan Chun. Ah, my parents. A true shame that they couldn't be here. Have always sung praises of your expertise, Lady Yuan-chun. ... Responses from the participants are just as protracted, only obsequious, that sounds right. Only obsequious instead of arrogant. As the heads of some of those houses were under investigation for consorting with the forces foreign to Hongyuan. Their vacuum was filled by their children's generation, many of whom we had the pleasure of meeting during the family hierarchy war. Very well, then shall we welcome Jia Ji-chun, the next person to sit upon the seat of Hongyuan's family hierarchy. Oh no, I forgot her, white hair and pink eyes in the thumbnail. Oh, it's fine. I drew it quickly, so it's not gonna be the most detailed, but I think that might be one of my best thumbnails. And I added the Uma, the Uma ears. Greetings, I am... Now, let us begin. For many years, all those who have gathered here have toiled day and night for eternal prosperity and growth of H Corp. ... Jia Ji-chun's expression immediately sours as Yuan-chun unceremoniously cuts off her self-introduction. First on the agenda for this assembly are urgent discussions and passage of new major policy items that have been tabled for far too long. Distributive contribution rights, auctioning policy, quarterly amnesty policy. Hold on, big sister Yuan-chun. Passing the distributive contribution rights auctioning policy would allow the open auction for any remaining rooms of the day before reconstruction days, and the quarterly amnesty wouldn't do anything but give unfair advantage to certain families and high net worth individuals by guaranteeing them large real estate assignments regardless of their performance in the previous quarter. Jia Ji-chun stutters a little, flustered, before continuing. She did not stutter saying all that. I did, but she did not. My point is, these policies are going to rattle H Corp's economy the moment they go into effect. Besides, these policies were pretty much drawn to favor lining the pockets of a select few families and high-ranking officials of H Corp. If I may, venerable hierarch, lining the pockets? That is quite an odd turn of phrase to refer to the bare minimum of respect the society might repay to its highest contributing members, don't you think? Oh, before we continue, Ji-chun, I'm not entirely certain if you were aware, but ever since the ascension of the new family hierarchy, the perceived value of Hongyuan has been racing to the, for lack of a better word, rock bottom. Clearly, this demonstrates Hongyuan's concern and its lack of faith in the newly appointed family hierarchy. Therefore, it naturally follows that our most urgent task at hand is to put a stop to this value and reputation-free fall, and restore prosperity and greatness to Hongyuan once again. Yeah, okay. And that's the family hierarch's job, right? Why are you... If you had persuaded H Corp's Articles of Association, you would have known that, should H Corp be deemed to be in a state of crisis, the four great houses and the board of directors' voice may also carry de facto power in the assembly. And the board of directors, that's us, has determined that we are now in a state of crisis. State of crisis? What crisis? Everything that led to my ascension to the family hierarchy was legitimate, down to the final approval. These unseemly rumors and slander are tanking our value, which we have built up assiduously, no, straight, through years upon years of toil. So what is this if not a state of crisis? And who wouldn't doubt the new family hierarchy's qualities when this decline has coincided precisely with her ascension? Jia Yuan-chun was somehow turning the room against Ji-chun, without presenting a single shred of evidence portraying her as some burdensome hierarch who is single-handedly tanking H Corp's value. No one in the assembly, not a single representative from any families present, stepped up to point out how Jia Ji-chun's swift actions were finally repelled, or what finally repelled the outside forces that had marched right up to Hong Yuan's front yard, or how she deftly maneuvered her forces to quell the embers of war by quickly taking control of the chaos within Daguan Yuan. Daguan Yuan? Not sure how to pronounce that. She hadn't shown any glaring signs of incompetence since her ascension, despite her relative inexperience, but everyone in Hong Yuan's board of directors, the heads of each family, averted their eyes as though all of that had somehow inconceivably slipped their minds. So you take yourself to be a qualified individual for that responsibility, Ji-chun? Very well, then proceed. We're all waiting for you to begin your briefing before the assembly regarding the last 30 years' quarterly net revenue records for Hong Yuan's singularity-related business. Your calculations on the next year's fiscal debt forecasts and the exact recipe and variation numbers for the boluses that have been registered in the last 5 years. That's the Venerable Hierarch has not received that data prior to the meeting. You must all be aware of the chaos that followed the ascension. We are still indexing all available materials to... Isn't that funny? Not once in the history of Hong Yuan has the family hierarch ever failed to provide immediate and detailed answers regarding Hong Yuan's historical statistics. ... Jia Yuan-chun must have known all along, too. She must have known how the previous family hierarchs were all directly supplied with immense repository of information through the Jiao Huang worm, or something of the equivalent. And she's using it to target Ji-chun's weakness, knowingly asking questions she, the first family hierarch without the Anamna worm, couldn't possibly answer. Responsibilities tied to the venerable seat of the hierarch, Jia Mu, are matched only by the great power bestowed upon it. Thus, how are we to leave the matters of the wing to someone who is so evidently unprepared for the task? Given the present circumstances, our hands may be forced to call to vote to the motion of no confidence. The motion of no confidence? A motion of no confidence, when passed by the high-ranking political officials, can result in the removal of the chief executive from office. So they're going after Ji-chun's power. So this is the picture Jia Yuan-chun wanted to paint. Impotent family hierarch stammering and stumbling through her first meeting to the total and near unanimous lack of support from the H Corp board of directors. Whatever jargon they're on about, seems to me they've got not an ounce of respect for the lass or us. Never trust... I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. Overly obsessed with numbers and optimizations. They'll be the first ones to kick you out the moment they no longer see you as useful. I don't know if that was the right sound effect. You're not only one who's... Can I say that? You're not the only one who's TSPMO'd. So can you please stop shaking your leg for a second? Don't need to make our frustration any more obvious, you know. My behind would have left the chair long ago if it weren't for this lass. I don't know how much I can exactly say on on YouTube. In H Corp, should the board of directors unanimously vote in favor of the motion, certain parts of the family hierarch's powers will be removed. It's entirely possible that she will become a hierarch in name only. Oh, so they're threatening to fire her unless she falls in line. This is some needlessly convoluted way to... The Assembly would not consider the motion of no confidence. Are there any objections to bringing the motion of no confidence against family hierarch Jia and Ji-chun to the floor? Hold on, the vote of no confidence is an item which you can invoke so lightly. The Shi family has no objections. Let's say the Wang family has no objections either. Zhuwei family too. The arrest of the previous family heads seemed to have changed precisely nothing. Those in power were more youthful faces, but their tongues still carried the same old resistance to change. The new family heads were just as uncooperative as ever, and everyone seemed to be solely interested in staying in Jia Yuanxun's good graces. New faces, same old. And needless to say, Heathcliff wasn't the only sinner fuming with rage. 'Tis far too vexing to simply watch and do not. Right? I knew you wouldn't let this slide, Don Quixote. You're walking all over Ji-chun like she's not even here. Forsooth, we cannot let such injustice transpire unabated. Hey, it seems like we're both on the same page. That's it. I'm not going to hesitate to make myself heard again. This time, I want to be courageous. With your help, Don Quixote. Come on, let's do this together. Okay. Very well. I am in agreement. Yeah, then let's go on 3 at the same time. If there are no objections, 1, 2... Did I miss something? Oh. Okay. The Assembly will put this resolution to a vote in a month, and 3. Here. Objection. Oh, do we have an Ace Attorney reference? Bloody heck. Oh wait, have you gone mental? Sinclair stood tall at the center of the entire room's undivided astonishment, alone. Is this new goofy background music? We had the goofy background music from the Crabs. I think this is interesting, goofy background music. Is it too low? I feel like it's really low. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Alright. Don Quixote, still firmly in her seat, gazed upon Sinclair's proud stance and rubbed her nose. Young Sinclair, thou hast evolved indeed. What an unmitigated pursuer of justice thou hast become, with such unrelenting fervor and utter disregard for decorum. Certainly, mine efforts have finally borne fruit. Wait, what the heck? Did Don Quixote or Heathcliff suddenly rip off on you or something? No, wait, no, no! What happened there, Don Quixote? We were going to... What happened to objecting together? Oh, I had taken thy suggestion to mean that we must voice our dissatisfaction through the official channels, borrowing the titles of the illustrious Red Gaze in the department of LCC. Disputes in succession of power on such a high level of government are hardly ever resolved with rash grandstanding. Wouldst thou not agree? Why are you normal all of a sudden? Guys, I think this game might be one of the best written games of all time. glad. What just happened? What happened to the clammy meek boy? Well, that's... I guess I just assumed that this is how Limbus Company rolls now. Do you guys know the like the clip of like people like talking about how dangerous that one guy is? I'm now imagining people making edits of Sinclair with with like pulling clocks on people. Oh, actually, maybe I can't talk about that on YouTube. I don't know. You guys know what I mean, though. There seems to have been an unexpected outburst from Ji-Chun's guests. Withdraw your objection, and we will consider this a momentary loss of control and not enter it as an official statement. It was, Sinclair's eyes were shaking like someone with his life on the line. ... If not, I take it that you have full confidence in her abilities. So please, I encourage you to elaborate. When and how will Ji-Chun demonstrate her aptitude for the responsibilities of the family hierarch? Alright, so here's what's gonna happen. Wuthering Heights, Heathcliff is going to teach her how to ride a horse. Then, Yi-Song will transform into the ultimate Uma, and then Ji-Chun will become the ultimate jockey, and she will... Wait. Hold on. No, that doesn't sound right. Let me think of another way to phrase that. She will... How do I say this without getting demonetized? I mean, I'm not even monetized, but like, if I want to get monetized, I probably can't get demonetized before I even get monetized. She will... How do I say this? She will take upon her steed into battle and will win the URA finals. Yes, take upon her steed is good. Sounds very formal and proper. Sounds much better than... Yeah, so anyways, No. It's not UHM, it's URA Finals. From now on, Limbus Company is a wit game. His voice continues to shrivel into a corner. He can't, and how could anyone? How could anyone, when we all had a very clear view of her path to ascension? Did they? I'm pretty sure she was covered by buildings, like for 99% of the time. During the family hierarch evaluation, Jia, Bao Yu... Okay, hold on. So, when I played Kanto 8, I'm pretty sure they pronounced this as like Ga Bo, but then I've also heard people pronounce it as not that. So I'm just gonna read it as I think it would be pronounced. So once again, apologies, because I'm likely going to pronounce everything incorrectly. But they're not voicing it, so someone's got to read. For the people that aren't watching their screens and are grinding their dailies and need someone to read while they're doing Mirror Dungeon. During the family hierarch evaluation, Jia Bao Yu donated the coins he received from Jia Jiu to you, essentially. You pity-partied your way to victory. Oh, that's what they're talking about. I don't think they realize how little how little Honglu wanted to be the hierarch. Pity-partied. Yeah, I don't think that was it. And for your ascension, Jia Chiyu. Is it Kiyu or Chiyu? Oh, I don't know. Okay, Jia and Chiyu and those outsiders from an upstart company had to almost literally carry you to the seat. Well, I mean, she did get carried, but not that carried. Has there even been a single victory attained by your own hands in that entire process? Ooh, that's it's interesting. But we have not all been witnesses to the qualities she exhibited during the family hierarch evaluation and her own ascension. You must have no shame snaking your forked tongue in the audience of both heaven and earth like an unwitting buffoon. Wit. They know it's a wit game. Who knows it's a wit game? That's when everyone... That's when quiet, even footsteps broke through Jia Yuanshin's merciless dismantling of Jia Jichun. Yes! Yes! She knows it's a wit game! Jia Chiyu, King of Wit, Lord of Wit Game. Yet, I see the point. The hierarch, with her grace, needs only demonstrate her already established qualifications before all. Where is Jia Chiyu? Also, why is Zigong still here? This is no place for an outsider to speak, but proceed. Just how will she prove herself before us? Does that mean that, like, I forgot what happened in the intro chapter 8. Did she stay behind? Like, did Jia Chiyu take, what was the Mao branch? What was their name? Zilu. Was it Zilu? Did he take Zilu and like leave, or are they still here? There's no place around better to speak, but proceed. Just how will she prove herself but before us? Also, is this before talking about the training arc? Like, is this before? I have a feeling this is before the training arc, or before like the cutscene at the end of Kanto 8 where they talked about the training arc. Because this doesn't, like, this feels out of order, so it has to be beforehand, or this has to be before that. What an odd statement coming from a fellow outsider who's been chattering for minutes on end. Forgive me, I could only presume from your verbosity that the right to speak in this forum was open to all outsiders. ... You have said it yourself, no, that the vote of no confidence resolution will proceed in a month. That seems to give the venerable hierarch a month to regain the trust of each family. What? It is rather clear to me that there are many who find their own defeat in the family hierarch difficult to accept. Such a doubt is easily resolved. A match between clans should lay out the results quite obviously. So basically, we need to race against every clan, and then we'll make our way to the URA finals. Very well. A fair challenge between clans. Or instead of the URA finals, maybe it'll be the Hongyuan finals. Which would preclude the participation of the family hierarchs, Heisho packs, and the Jiaoan guards. So you would remove her POW and Jew before the game even begins. Why not make this test a series of sparring matches in both academia and martial arts, if such is the case? Ah. So basically, she's going to learn to throw hands while playing the wit game. Huh. What audacity. Do you truly have that much faith in Jia Ji-chun's abilities? If she has medium S and gourmand and swinging maestro, then why not? And red shift. And she wears red, so surely she can shift with red shift. You must know the consequences of failing these matches now. It would be a... I thought that's a Duma. Unanimous, one-sided end to the vote of no confidence, and naturally, any and all rights appertaining to the family hierarchy shall be transferred to the board of directors. That is fine by us. You are free to choose any champion whom you see fit. Unfortunately, your underlings don't seem to share your inflated confidence. But in the midst of the confused, flabbergasted silence from the other sinners, a clear, carefree, yet defiant voice rings out. Hung Wu's retort. That's not true at all, big sister Yuan Chun. We actually have just as much confidence in Ji Chun as she does. His wide eyes stare directly and unblinkingly into Jia Yuan Chun's. It occurred to me that this might be his way of expressing anger. Impudent child, how dare he stare me down like that? Then you are welcome to try. 1 month. You have but 1 month to prove before all an audience that she is, indeed, fit to be the family hierarch. Should you fail, this vote may as well be a mere formality. In other words, should she successfully prove herself, none of you shall again rightly challenge the independent rights and powers bestowed upon the family hierarch. The consequences of such recalcitrance... What does that word mean? I'll Google it another time. Would be no different from those that the traitors are facing, wouldn't you agree? Well, then, we will excuse ourselves now. Wait, I'm... Zigong turns around toward us with that same mysterious smile and slowly directs us outside of the assembly hall. You may call them sparring matches, but you must know that each and every one of them is a test to prove your claim to the seat of the family hierarch. A month is a time far too brief for drastic improvement, regardless of for whom it may be. Learning from a proper master for 10 months straight might teach you a few things, but who knows how long the search for one such master might take, not to mention the official channels through which you must bring them past De Guan Yuan's walls, which may take up to 2 months. Why not relent now and relinquish but a part of your powers as the family hierarch to the board of directors? It seems that this fellow outsider's mental facilities are impressively lacking. My lord has spoken in the past that, when in the presence of 3 people, at least one of them is bound to be a teacher of mine. Okay. And here they are, aren't they? Jia Ji-chun's masters, each carrying something new to teach her. All 13 of them. I don't know what Dante can teach her, but okay. Zigong gestured confidently toward the flabbergasted sinners, and the assembly came to an end. Bro, I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped to actually play the event. Dude, it looks so cool. Dude, let me play the event, please. Let me event time, please. Okay, it looks like that's the... Oh, dude, that's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. Look how cool this is. Oh my god. Alright. 12 teachers. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, this is taking a while. I'm gonna have to read this one a little faster. Because I actually want to get to the game. We were planning to train Ji-Chun anyway, but it seems that we are now under an unexpected deadline. ... Hey, when you said the LCB was going to help me out, did you guys mean that you were going to publicly humiliate the crap out of me at the assembly? Haha, of course not, Ji-Chun. Big Sister Yuan-Chun's an old snake. You've just given her 30 days to set the perfect stage for my downfall, to prove the world once and for all that I'm not qualified at all to be the family hierarch. But Ji-Chun, weren't you always so good at humbling anyone who dared underestimate you? Not so much anymore. Back then, like an idiot, I thought I just had to hold on with everything I had. I thought that's all I ever had to do, but now, things are different. It's true that I'm vastly underqualified to be the family hierarch, and she's right, I pretty much locked into this position. Ji-Chun, don't tell me that woman's bull actually got to you. Well, she wasn't completely wrong, right? I'm just some kid who happened to be just good enough to survive some traps and ambushes. I'm afraid that the responsibility of a family hierarch might be too much. Her self-confidence has significantly decreased compared to the observation from our previous interaction. The heck, Ji-Chun, I don't remember you being this kind of character. What happened to the girl who looked down on us from the moment we met? You even had the audacity to pretend not to know who we were, didn't you? Where'd all that confidence go, girl? That actually got under his skin back then, huh? So Ji-Chun, what do you want to do? Are you sure you're okay with this? Are you okay with letting this happen? If I let it happen, Big Sister Yuan-Chun is going to continue expanding her influence here. I'm sure she and the board of directors have been cozying up to each other for a long time. Is the implication that her testaments on her influence were true? Yep, it's true. Before she left for Q Corp, Big Sister Yuan-Chun used to always accompany GMU to the assemblies. If we just let them hold the vote of no confidence, they're going to unanimously vote against me and slowly reduce the family hierarch's scope of power, and who knows, they might even call for a reevaluation, on however unlikely that sounds. Besides, Big Sister Yuan-Chun, I think that her definition of Hong Yuan's prosperity might be different from mine. What she is looking for is an H Corp's prosperity. It's Daeguan Yuan's. And I know that this all has something to do. With its ties to Q Corp, which I bet has already been going on for a while, just under my radar. I'm sure they've already had plenty of talks behind my back, which is not the kind of vision you have for Hong Yuan's future, right? And that's why you spoke up against her. My vision for Hong Yuan is I want to change H Corp to be the kind of place where people can live without fear. I just never imagined I'd have to prove myself like this, and in only 30 days. 30. So, about 36 turns? So about 3 years in terms? Wait, no, that's not how it works. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Even then, your vision hasn't changed, right? It hasn't. Great, so it's decided then, huh? We just need Fao. Since when has Rodian called Faust Fao? To deliver the bad news to Sod. So to summarize, the responsibility of training Ji-Chun to win these matches, I mean these amorphous tests upon which hinges the family hierarch's fate, and almost every facet of which is entirely under Jia Yuan-Chun's control, by the way, and it's probably a trap within the next 30 days is ours, and we have to explain that to Sod. Haha. Wow, that sounds like a lot of work when you put it like that. Postmortem reports have become quite rote. I don't know what that means, but okay. Sometime later. Prithee, thou must impress upon the illustrious red gaze that it wasn't mine idea this time. Why can I read that easier than like most of the other things? Okay. Sinclair stared blankly at Don Quixote as she made her desperate plea towards Sod. Yes, and I understand that as well, for the 8th time. As always, Sod was wearing the same refreshingly incomprehensible smile. The kind of smile that makes people increasingly anxious the longer it lasts. Well, that gives us about 30 days, during which those sparring matches, tests, whatever will be happening as well. Guess... Oh, great. Then let's give it our best. And Claire mutters in a near whisper, clearly feeling responsible for what happened. Yes, I understand I never should have stepped out of line like that, but something just... Yeah. So let's give it our best. I totally agree. We messed everything up again, and... What? What? Oh, guys, name drop! Limbus Company! Limbus Company was always going to remain here and assist Miss Jiajichun acclimatize herself to the responsibilities of the family hierarchy. Was always part of our plan. Well, I sure am glad that I took Fast's advice about how meticulous planning is completely pointless when it comes to LCB's missions. I never would have had to submit 9 separate disciplinary incidents reports back during the J-Corp incident had I known. What did she just say? I read that twice, but I still can't process it. I believe I should be able to expand this further. Prior to his departure, my lord was concerned that such a thing would come to pass. That is why he has left Zilu and I here to look after the new family hire expedition, which must still be on rather thin. Okay, so Zigong and Zilu are still here. And Jia Chiu has left, so that means that the end of Kanto 8 was before this. So they already planned on training her, I'm guessing. Oh, so that's what they were privately talking about when they pulled them aside. When he pulled them aside. Doing nothing and allowing her wicked machinations to progress would have irrevocably made the entire board of directors naught but putty in Yuan Shun's hands. And that would have led that snake to de facto assume the seat of the family hierarchy. Against such an insidious foe who wields intrigue as her weapon, the most viable strategy is the most direct one, to challenge her head on. Besides, has this not given you the excuse you needed to prolong your company's stay in Daiguanyuan? This is also a prime opportunity for Jia Jichun to further solidify her influence here, depending on the outcome of the vote of no confidence they had played right into our hands by accepting this deal. So, I don't want to rain on everyone's parade, but are we not even going to consider what might happen if we fail? No, we are not, because you will not fail, not with us aiding your efforts. So you're telling me that she cannot possibly fail. Cool. Also, were you serious back there when you said that we were all going to teach Jia Jichun, all 12 of us? I won't object to selecting only a few us. Only a few us. I won't object to selecting only a few us with better aptitude to be educators. Okay, I'm guessing a few of us. Aptitude, like medium S and turf S. Maybe they'll have clash power S. Oh, by the way, we already have an established internal hierarchy based on the sum of each of our abilities. Of course, the results weren't entirely to my satisfaction due to an unexpected incident. Wait, so who was number 2? Was it Ryoshu or Otis? Was Otis higher than Ryoshu? I feel like she might have been higher than Ryoshu. I definitely think Ryoshu is cooler. Because of, like, the whole, like, sword. And, like, not drawing the sword. Like, that's just a really cool thing to have. And, like, Otis hasn't really shown anything. Like, she hasn't, like, cut anybody to pieces. She just kind of, like, hinted at something in Kanto 7. But Miss Otis, that is a statement mired in narrowed vision, rife with factual refractions. I am of the stance that the qualities of a good teacher are not defined not by such statistics. And wasn't Yi Song at, like, the end of the strength rankings? Wasn't he like the weakest? So he must be one who plays last in that scale. Yeah. Just don't say anything, but best not stand out like a sore thumb. I may have overreacted then. My Lord has said that from the virtuous we may learn to replicate their merits. From the flawed we may learn to avoid their fallings. As long as the student is willing to learn, anything can be a teacher. Like ReZero. I also, to embrace this teaching, seek from all those who we come across. Just what in the heavens are you doing? Aha, I am preparing a lesson plan for young Ji-chun, our family hierarch. Wow, you sure got on that fast. So what are these yellow wormy things here? Aha, 'tis a star. Twinkle twinkling in its radiance. How do you draw a star that looks like a yellow wormy thing? It doesn't even make sense, but okay. Actually, I guess if she drew like her, like the ones in her eyes, and then drew like squiggles going out, maybe then. According to the schedule you prepared, the student would have -3 hours available for sleep. This also plan's execution will require cooperation from T-Corp. Yeah, 'twould be a mistake most fatal indeed. I shall correct it post haste. I feel like the funny part of that is that there are actually ways where you could like adapt to a schedule where you have -3 hours by just simply putting more time into one day. Dude, it's like such a cool concept. Dude, the writing for this game is just so good, bro. Oh my god. Zigong was staring at Don Quixote's expression of her wild artistic merit upon the curriculum with her usual crescent moon eyes. Wait, is that supposed to be Zigong's grimace? Of course, to each their own, I suppose. I need not be shaken by every little thing until we have their actual lesson plans in hand. Hey, thanks for putting your faith in us, Zigong. We barely have any of that to go around ourselves, so I understand it couldn't have been easy. You could say that I have learned my lesson. The recent events have taught me that the path of learning is truly one without end. Let me train. Let me train. It's gonna be another cutscene, isn't it? I'm calling it. I called it. I called it. Oh, let me train. Please. I want to go to the Hong finals. Let her run. Let her wit. Let her MMA. Another student. Okay, I guess this is gonna be where we get Sinclair added to the roster of people that need academics. I see you have all individually worked on your lesson plans as per Zigong's request. I have... Zilu! 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 I have received a total of 12 lesson plans. Hold on, shouldn't there be 13 of them? Even the executive manager has decided to spare their precious time precious time to teach a class. Huh, yeah, I handed in my lesson plan too. Bro, she still has the sword. She's so cool, bro. That is because... so who didn't do their homework? After a brief silence, everyone turned around and looked at one of the sinners. It ain't me. Dude, I expected him to have it done. Like, it's funny that they all look at Heathcliff, but like, when you... Like, everyone underestimates Heathcliff, and I feel like it goes too far. Because he's actually, like, when it comes to, like, street smarts, he's probably, like, one of, if not the highest out of, like, all of the sinners. Because, like, think of who else could be more street smart. Like, Yi-Song and Faust? No. Like, even Ryoshu, he, like, outclasses in terms of, like, common sense. Like, and, like, Sinclair maybe, like, normal-ish, but the thing is he's, like, average at being normal-ish, but, like, Heathcliff is, like, smart in, like street smart terms. Like, people underestimate him. Oh, please, I always try to make a compelling argument. Who else other than you could it possibly... It's me. You, Sink? You've been acting out of character a lot recently. What's going on? Well, that's, Sinclair was drenched in sweat for some reason. Actually, Sinclair's seat was a large stack of papers, each filled to the brim with writing. Sinclair, are these papers? Phew, I'm done. Sorry, I got too into making a lesson plan and just couldn't stop myself from writing. Whew. How do you pronounce that? Okay. Sinclair couldn't have appeared more proud as he placed that big bundle of sweat-soaked papers in Zilu's hands. Is it Zilu or Xilu? I'm just gonna keep saying Zilu. It sounds right. Might not be. If it's not right, someone can always let me know though. But we'll see. Alright. Zilu. Wouldn't Zilu be like Z-E? But like... It could also be Z-I. I don't know. Okay, Zilu. She receives it with mid-trepidation. I don't know what that means, but interesting. It's like 3 words in this 1.5 chapter that I haven't known so far. You seem to have dedicated quite the monumentous effort in drawing up this lesson plan. What's up with her? Let's start reviewing from the first of the stack. 108 analytical approaches to the aesthetes. AAA. Isn't 108 like isn't that like an important number? Like, I saw something about, like, Honglu restoring a certain amount of his HP brings him to, like, is supposed to, or, like, heals him for, like, 108 or something. It was, like, important to something. I forgot exactly what, but I know it's an important number. 108. What does AAA mean, and how do you plan to explore all 108 approaches in a month? Appreciation of artistry in assassinations. Ryoshu! Yes! F you went too far. What does that mean? What does that mean? Right. Sorry. I'll flip a page and continue reading for those 108 approaches. What paint did you use? It's quite viscous, and the paper is partially melted. Lady, watch yourself. You almost got some on my arm. Aha. A painting? Zilu. and entrails coating the world. What does that mean? Now you know how aesthetes appreciate the artistry of slaughter. Just what the heck did you paint in that paper? Hey, get it together. Zilu stumbled briefly. Whatever was on the paper must have given her quite the shock. Ah, my mind wandered for a moment. ... This is too dangerous to be used for a lesson. Thus it goes into the discard pile. Humph. Weak sauce. Zilu crumpled up the paper without hesitation and tossed it out of sight. Next. Intro to Societal Reintegration. Impressive title. Chapter 1. How to shake hands with your left hand when the situation calls for it. Chapter 2. Exploration of exclusively long-sleeved fashion practices. Chapter 3. Rejecting confidence and why having a bug arm is totally cool. That's, you know how it is. Be proud of who you are. All that philosophy stuff. I wanted this lesson to give a bit of a paradigm shift where we can all come to see our flaws not as failings but as evidence of our individuality, which will usher in a world where we can carry on with our lives no matter what kind of harm we have. This card, next. So you'll quickly flip through the pages. Intro to, what does that mean? Denigrative linguistics. Subheading, the power of words. Sticks and stones may break their bones, so let's add words to the pile. I'm so glad I've stuck with this game for so long. My credentials include the ability to dress down on opponents so hard that they'd fall to their knees and beg me to stop. I have plans for application as well. The lesson teaches methods pertaining to disguising compliments and criticisms and vice versa. So she's giving lessons on passive aggressiveness. All of this seems rather difficult to learn. I've concluded from my hitherto observations that Jia Jichun is an individual of great promise in this field. Follow my instructions to a T, and I guarantee you that this cadet shall be able to have the upper hand in any verbal confrontations. Oh my god, she's so short compared to the... Wait, dude, how tall is Otis? Because I don't remember Otis being tall. Zilu is kind of tall, but I don't remember Otis being tall. She's like literally a head taller than Jichun. Like, is this a curriculum to make the best brawler of the best family hierarch out of me? Zilu seems quite interested, but Jia Jichun's vehement veto eventually overruled that suggestion. On Justice, another impressive title. Subheading, Methodologies of captivating an entire room of preoccupied audience. Discard. Fie on thee, wherefore? Next. praxis of ego-splitting concerning inter-mirror conflicts between the self and the reflection, and paradoxically fractured theory of idealism in which one attempts to open an unopening door to the open door. I'm surprised I was able to read that in one go. And we already know that's E-Songs, right? Utterly incomprehensible discard. Yeah. Perhaps Mr. Yoshi's advice to truncate the lesson title should have been taken in earnest. Survival and exploration. I want to guess Ishmael. 21 reasons to pay attention when the exploration team leader is giving advice on the upcoming adventure. Case study for 30 horrible mistakes that occurred because the team was too distracted during the leader's lecture. How to track down a troublemaker who tries to sweep trouble under the rug while team leader isn't looking. Someone ignored my advice that we shouldn't have been moving 2 steps ahead. Finally, I've narrowed them down to 3 culprits. I called it! I called it with Ishmael! Oh wait, I forgot to take that part out. Into the shredder it went. And did that paper shredder... Or when did that paper shredder get here? Wait, hold on, what did she... Sweet trouble on the rug. Okay. The art of using yawning as a cover for popping a cookie or 2 into your mouth. Especially useful when getting lectured. If you get good enough at it, you can do that with nuts too. Okay. Okay, buddy. So it is you who made those crunching noises in our last movie. What? You take me for an amateur. The art of social maneuvers. How to let it flow through you. Social maneuvers. Is there a single person on our team with social skills? It's gotta be Mersalt. How to not make things awkward when you walk right in front of, right in on someone bad-mouthing. Okay, maybe it's Heathcliff, actually. What? What? Social skills? Hong Lu? No, actually, I guess that is, I guess it was like, oh, be chill. I guess that was the lesson. The most important part of this art is to flash a refreshing smile in a way that looks earnest. It helps you when you convince yourself that smiling is what brings good fortune. Smiles have a way of disarming people, giving them a pause and making them hesitate. I remember that. Paper used that technique to confuse a lot of Daeguan people who hated him. I see. This, I can't quite bring myself to throw this into the shredder. She probably feels bad. Next, how to remain in complete stillness for a week until the next command is received. Okay, that's no question. Mersalt, right? Yeah. Sultan Plane was designed based on Rodian's advice that I must prioritize strengths that are unique to myself. Mersalt, the living wall. Look, in my defense, I didn't know he considered that to be his unique strength, okay? Let us consider whether standing in complete stillness for a week is a quality one might seek in the family hierarchy. This one is certainly interesting. What separates bravado from bravery? It's an interesting one. Bravado. Bravery. I'm gonna be Otis, right? Who could that be? Heathcliff? Yeah, that's Heathcliff. Sawed off and grab your weapons. Nope, always gotta read the full print. Dude, I think another thing that makes this game so great is how you can just read one line of a character and you just know what character it is. Because their traits are just so, like, unique to them. It's my philosophy that reason don't necessarily need to be considered before coming to blows. See, like, all the characters are just written so well, bro. Like, martial prowess is indeed an indispensable part of the family hierarch's qualities, but our focus is not on developing a hierarch of a syndicate. Next, information disparity is a driver of inequitable treatment. Dante is a driver. Charon, no. Information disparity. Faust? Okay, this one I'm actually not sure. Oh, that's actually the most interesting sounding one so far. And the application of engineering frameworks. Is that Faust? Oh, okay, it's kind of losing me, but I'm still on board. Yeah. For systematic resolution of rational self, insert, I guess, soul shaft, driven societies, and is it still going? That was 1/5 of the full title. Man, why you read out Yi Sang's full title and you couldn't do Faust's? It seems that the same trouble has hindered both you and I. Yeah, although she actually read yours. Why not read Faust's too? Every word in that title was added for its absolutely for its absolute necessity. Indeed, indeed. After she had gone through the majority of our lesson plans. Ha, finally. Now that that's over. Yes, it's finally my turn. Phew. Whew. I don't know how to make that sound. Sinclair aside with the gravitas of someone who's just been bestowed with the most important mission in his life. Thinking back, even in school, I used to daydream about becoming a teacher myself. I thought I could be good at it, so I guess you could say I'm pretty happy to be given an opportunity like this. I call my lesson the theory on self-overcoming. We have to accept that everyone stumbles at first, but by always striving to be a better person than I was yesterday. Hey, but what if I like who I was yesterday more? That's okay, because everyone has their own unique potential sleeping deep inside. Knowing that he's gonna be a student instead of a teacher makes this so much funnier. So with everything I've learned and experienced so far, let me teach you how to not doubt your own capabilities, how to always shoot higher. Hold on. You had me for a second there, but what's up with you acting like you're infinitely more enlightened person than I am? Like you're uninfinitely more enlightened person than I am. Ah, of course, I prepared a speaking class where you can learn how to speak with modesty, too. I think you might need to take one of those classes. I never would have imagined Sinclair would be this into it. Yeah, too bad he's so into it that he's not even listening to what Ji-chun's saying. Ji-chun. Dude, that's hard to say. Following that, your company's... it seems that Zilu has completed her review. Oh, I see. Now, how's everything going, everyone? Class prep going well? Sob. Mine curriculum most especial. Okay, so that's a no. That was Saad's impression upon taking a quick glance at Don Quixote, who was sobbing and cradling the shredded pieces of her lesson plan in her hands. Well, it wasn't a complete bust, at least. Sinclair's lesson plan survived. Dude, how? Phew. Miss Zigong, Miss Saad, I've prepared a full 30 days worth of lesson plans. Would you like to take a look? But Zigong and Saad weren't looking at the dozens of lesson plans Sinclair presented so proudly before their eyes. They were looking away. Zigong, especially, was looking away with an unmistakable expression of pity. Oh, whoops. So he doesn't know. Do you mind explaining this, Zilu? Oh, she knows. She knows. I could not bring myself to tell him. Apologies. So, This young man produced this entire sizable stack of lesson plans all on his own. I see. Weakness has found its way into your heart in the face of such earnest effort. I understand. However, it has been decided that Sinclair will not be participating as one of Jia and Ji-chun's teachers. Or shall I call you Pupil Sinclair, to be exact? What were they called before? Oh, just regular Sinclair. Okay. ... Haha. This has gotta be a mistake, right? Isn't Ji-chun the pupil here? No, there haven't been any mistakes. My lord has specifically instructed that you are to learn from this as well. What? What? Seriously? This isn't right. Guys, this isn't right. Now this looks like a proper classroom. Would have felt pretty dang empty with just Ji-chun sitting there all on her own, don't you think? Besides, I bet Sink's the resident expert on going to schools, right? School is a luxury for me, you know? Yeah, maybe, but that doesn't mean I ever wanted to go back to school. You should learn to be grateful. I don't dole out my teachings to just anyone. Don't forget, we have to redo the whole lesson plan under their supervision. Otis, you always get on your soapbox and try to lecture everyone about something after every single battle anyway. And you, Ishmael, you always get hyper-fixated on something. Once you find something interesting, you never stop talking about it for 3 hours, at least. And, I will ensure that you receive the best education I can provide, Sinclair. Hold on, Yi-song, I thought we were the underdog duo. Remember during the checkup when I said, we got this? We're going to get this together. The evaluation painted a twisted picture of the true scale of strength, the sole measure of which erroneously relied entirely on physical might. I shall not hesitate to impart knowledge for those who require education. Congratulations, my lady. You have found yourself a desk mate, which some also call a bestie, depending on desk placement. I forgot it. I didn't realize I said Hierarch of Hangyuan. It's a cool title. Desk mate. Bestie. What the heck does any of that mean? Aw, she looks like she's having fun. Good for her for not getting the worm to, you know. She's not dead. That's good. Ha. Jia Ji-chun's eyes widened with confusion, as though she just heard those words for the first time in her life. When I first met her when she was 16, she explained to me that she hadn't attended any school-like institutions. This is par for the course for children of Hangyuan who are raised for the purpose of becoming the next family hierarch, the reason being that schools can be a perfect place to assassinate someone. Okay. So, deskmates and besties. Sinclair began to explain, seemingly resigned to the fact that he was essentially going back to school for a month with the other sinners as his teachers. Usually sit next to each other and help one another out. A bestie might nudge the other awake when they doze off, share their homework with one another if one forgets to do theirs. They usually end up being included in the best memories of each other's school time. She's not very important at all, huh? I think I got this on my own. I don't need a bestie. ... Oh, I thought they were gonna be friends. It may have come a few years late, but I'm moved that my lady finally has a chance at experiencing school. Same here. I remember it like yesterday. Ji-chun would sit and watch other kids walk to school from a distance, tears welling in her eyes. Dude. Why is she saying dude? That seems so out of character for her. Oh, that reminds me. One day, out of nowhere, she started saying something about eating from lunchboxes with friends. I haven't a clue as to how or where she even heard about it. But she snuck into a kitchen and... R. R. Wait. Don't you guys have lesson points alright? Come on, hurry up. 30 days are ticking down. We only got 30 days. Of course, unfortunately, I've become quite occupied with another task of great importance, assisting Wei with indexing and reviewing various documents that are critical need in organizing. Thus, I must leave the lesson planning to you two, Xilu, Miss Assad. Have you any thoughts on the matter? Slacker. What was that? I said nothing. Oh my god, let me train. Let me train for the Hongyuan finals now, please. Please, I've been waiting for this for weeks. Oh, yes, yes. 0. All right, okay, we're doing that. 0. 30 days of classes. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped, guys. Zilu and Sod appeared to have aged several years overnight. Their faces sunken and sallow. Finally, after referencing the idiosyncrasies and various statistical data available to us regarding each center, we managed to come up with an appropriate curriculum. Miss Zilu. Apologies. Sleep deprivation has bereaved me of clear mind. Sleep deprived, minus 30 energy, or plus 30 energy, but minus 20 energy from the usual 50. Night owl, mood down, mood awful. The path of an educator is truly a grueling one. Marching to battle would be much easier. Haha. Still, thanks to Mr. Jiachiu's methodology you shared, we did manage to find a way to make this quite efficient. Efficient, huh? To be a true family hierarch, there are dozens, hundreds of virtues one must understand and master. However, to do so in 30 days as promised is an implausible effort. Thus, we have categorized the countless virtues into 3 supercategories, and they're called... One of them is wit. One of them is wit. I know it. One of them is wit. What are these supposed to be? G? Z? G? Is this G? Or is it Z? G? Yong? Is that Yong? And Ren. G. Wit! Wit game! Wit game! It's a wit game! G. LIMBUS Company is a G game. Wisdom. The wise lose neither people nor words. To hold one's silence in need of speech shall cost them people. To speak in need of silence shall cost them words. A reasonable sequence of logic. Yong. Courage. The ability to overcome fear, to act decisively. Have too much of it, and risk becomes a brute. Have too little, and risk becomes a craven. It needs harmony and balance. Okay, you know what I didn't hear? I didn't hear a downside to this. Hold on, let's decipher this. To hold one's silence in need of speech shall cost them people. So if you don't speak in need of silence... Wait, no. If you don't speak when you need to talk, you will lose people. To speak in need of silence. Hold on, that's not wisdom, that's the power of yapping. What? Wait, to speak in need of silence shall cost them words. Oh, so too many words, but so if you overcap on words, it's not the biggest problem. Risking harmony and balance sounds a bit more of a problem to me. Okay, let's see the third one. So how far are we allowed to go with corporal punishment again? Oh, let's see. Courage. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna read it one more time. Have too much of it and risk becoming a brute. Have too little, risk becoming a craven. It needs harmony and balance. Okay. So, we want wisdom. So how far are we allowed to go with corporal punishment again? I recall no instance of any discussion regarding corporal punishment. And Ren. Humanity! Of course, a disciple of GHU is talking about humanity. It is the benevolence of the heart, the compass of behavior that dictates respect towards every human. So you can never have too much humanity. Clearly, most of the facilities of this school are severely lacking in all three of your criteria. Just how do you think they'll be able to teach the students anything? Yeah, like someone who needs a lesson in Ren. That's the humanity one, right? So G is wisdom and wit. Young is courage, and Ren is humanity. Alright, got it. Are you sure I'm in good hands? Just what the heck am I supposed to learn here? Where's Wei? Mr. Wei and Mrs. Yigong are currently quite preoccupied with handling the monumental task of paperwork. Right. Mr. Wei wanted me to deliver this message to you. Be strong, my lady. Wei! Despite her protestations, the 30 days of classes commenced. Oh, are we starting? Are we starting the game? Combo. Okay, let's read. The goal in this game mode is to raise the main stats, Ji, Yong, and Ren, as high as possible over the course of 30 days. Dude, I'm actually so hyped for this, you guys have no idea. I've been waiting for this for weeks. Since I saw the trailer, whenever that came out. Each class specializes in raising different stats. Some classes, select class, choose up to 3 classes per day. Up to 3 per day, interesting. Oh wait, hold on, I have to read closer. And some classes might even raise or lower the students' morale values. Okay. Aside from, you choose up to 3 classes per day, the variety of select classes grows as the days go by. Okay. Class results in morale. Classes can either end in success or failure. A successful class will greatly increase the amount of stat gained, but a failed class will greatly reduce the company. Where did I get the word company from? Okay, I was thinking of Limbus Company. Whoops. Greatly reduce the amount of stat gained. Higher morale results in higher chance to have a successful class. Combo. Bonus effects. Okay, taking the same day. Okay. Cultivation. Once you discover a combo, you can then preview the combo. Taxidermied. I don't know about that one. View all discovered combos in the list. Once you've selected, press begin. Classes progress automatically during class. You view the students changing stat values in real time. Okay. Notice, taking a class gives XP. Once a class XP has been maxed out, the class will be upgraded to the next level. Taking higher level classes will yield more stat increases. Please note that classes cannot be upgraded beyond master. Okay, so master is the top. I'm guessing it goes novice, expert, master. Or maybe there's 5 levels, I don't know. Combat prowess enhancements. Raising Ji, Yong, or Ren stats beyond a specific level, or upgrading a class to a certain level will enhance the student's combat prowess. Ooh. 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 These enhancements are applied separately for GG, Chun, and Sinclair. Separately, you say? What does that mean? Viewing combat prowess. Select the magnifier icon to view GG, Chun's detail stats. On certain dates, combat encounters may occur in place of classes. GG Chun will be participating in these encounters on her own. Okay. Combat progression skill slots are gained or skill slots are chained automatically. Press the gong-shaped button to begin the combat phase. Only by winning the combat encounter can she progress to the next day or the next class. Okay. So I'm guessing you press it and she auto fights. So it's like sending her in to run her race. Dude, if they do what I think they can do, they could make they could end up making a really cool cutscene. Like if we get another like Dawn and Bari level fight, dude, that would be amazing. Okay, class schedule. Okay. Oh, I guess it's selected for both of them. Okay, let's see what this is. Okay. Let's see your coin powers. Okay. Alright. Okay. Oh. Yeah, now I see why she needs to reduce slash. Okay, what's her passive? I'm guessing this is... What is this? Thorns. Clash when... What damage on class 1? The clash 1 gain 1 damage up at turn and gain 2 clash power up next turn. Oh, that's on panic. Never mind. Oh, one moment. I have returned. Hello. Okay, we're back. Alright. Oh, dude, I wish I could see... Oh, dude, it's so cool. Restart. Config. No. Dude, this is so cool. Okay, so I guess Sinclair's not going to be doing any fighting. Okay. Resume class, confirm. My name is Isai, that's all. Class I've prepared for the day. I've heard plenty about your mirror tech, which makes me wonder. Going by the level of advancement in that technology, can you have approached it from a different angle? You know how technological advancement usually goes. People invent for the sake of creation, only to have their invention inevitably warped into the weapon of destruction. Indeed, you show much promise already. As you surmise now, the mirror has, in the past, almost been employed to shatter possibilities instead of reflecting them. I'm sure that's the angle most others wanted to see it happen. Removal of potential risks sounds much more palatable than potential itself to some people, after all. Correct again, yet destruction was a word that bore too much suffering from my heart. My sole egress from it was abandonment of my quantum fellows in my life's work, making myself a fugitive from the past. How did you bring yourself to just abandon it all? I conversed. With who? With myself, that lies within me. As you are aware, the mirror's reflection extends beyond the veils of our own reality. It reflects the potentialities, the latent strength into the world. Yet, even among them, the reflection of its greatest importance is that of the self. Let not the innumerable worlds of the mirror enchant your gaze. First, one must direct their studies inward and reflect upon oneself. This is what we wanted. I learned how to be more true to myself by looking into the mirror. 4. Cap of 1,000, wow. Okay, so if we get 30 turns, that's 18 times 30. That's like 300 plus 240. It's like 540. So that's half. So yeah, that's we're not spamming that one thing. Actually, if it levels up, then maybe it'll get better. Now, if you are prepared to explain what you see in the mirror, you needn't hesitate. For some reason, Ji-Chun appeared to hesitate before the mirror. Hey, you know, it's been a while since I looked into the mirror for so long. Dude, this is low-key kind of a long cutscene, and I low-key kind of need to go pretty soon. So after this cutscene, I might potentially wrap it up, which is unfortunate, but we'll see. My lady, do you recall Sun Zen of the Shi family who contacted you for a meeting? Yeah, the guy who said he was going to show me a precious flower that blooms only at night. Remember that you were vehemently against me going out there, so I stayed inside. I wonder what kind of flower it was. Don't tell me you were actually looking forward to meeting him, my lady. Oh, of course not. You were wise to stay inside. It was revealed that you weren't the only person who was invited, my lady. That vile man had hired a group of assassins to ambush the meeting spot, and would have been waiting there to spring the trap had you gone. But apparently he was outplayed and had his limbs and head torn off as punishment. What a relief, isn't it? I guess. I'm glad I didn't go away. You were right. If only you still had the Wu branch under your control. Stop it. We agreed to move on from that, remember? We don't have to talk about it. Did he lose his horse powers or something? I was brushing my hair and looking into the mirror as we were talking, but I realized that I no longer recognized the girl in the mirror. I don't know why, but I found it so hard to meet her eyes. But I brushed it off because I had to. An experience like that was going to be a common occurrence anyway, and the family hierarchy war was always looming on the horizon. Perhaps what you felt then may have been shame, but it is paramount to face oneself nonetheless. Nay, especially so if it was. Claire, what do you see? I see. Well, I just see myself smiling. I don't see what's so out of the ordinary. But it seemed like Sinclair couldn't really bring himself to face the mirror. Hey, after what we just discussed, I think I understand something now. Now that I've had some quiet time looking at my reflection, I think I uncovered a part of myself I've had hidden away for a long time. I learned how to be more true to myself at Denver. Okay. Is this a skip button? Another one. Leveled up to expert. Okay, there's no way there's only 3 levels of this. Slash resistance minus 0.25. Oh. Mandatory. Morale plus 30. Upgrade. Oh. Okay, so it's not gonna let us mix the order. Oh man. Dude, let me change the order. Okay. Well, the morale is getting overcapped. That's not really what we want, but actually, what if we don't do this one? Actually, no, we don't want to waste a turn. We're gonna put it in anyway. And it's only minus 8, so. Alright. History of the station. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I never read the UMA dialogue. I always skip everything. So this is new to me. Reading stuff. Bashfulness and energy tune both side with apprehension. It was understandable given that. So I told them sometime before the lesson started. Some time ago. Otis, who'd been glaring daggers at Don Quixote for a good while, finally decided to voice her doubts to Sod. So, what is Don Quixote, that woman, supposed to teach? Have you not considered that her usual fluency might only cause more trouble than it's worth? You worry too much, Otis. While she may not looking, Don Quixote is extremely well versed in those adventure tales. And why would any of that matter? Have you yourself considered that fictures often appear when history is in the making? What does that mean? Let's see here. Don Quixote took a second to savor the moment, as though she had been preparing her whole life for it. Then continued. So, she's saying that Don Quixote is the history teacher amongst the greatest fixers, whose honored names were engraved in history. Ah, verily. Let us commence the lesson with the tale of the fixer Yue Fei. This tale beginneth in the year sometime later. Are you done? Just how can she continue to talk at such length? She's been going on for ages. Thus cometh the time to test thy dedication to this class, and the knowledge that should naturally come with it. A pop quiz, if thou wilt. If you can find the time to prepare this, I can assure thee 'tis a quiz of entirely reasonable difficulty. If thou hast paid attention in class, worry thee not. Does this pop quiz have prizes? Aha, but of course, I came prepared for such inquiries. For each correct answer I shall bestow upon thee from the very treasure chest of mine these precious, precious fixer badges. Forsooth, I did not let a single day go by in which I did not polish each and every one of them on 3 separate occasions at the very least. I don't know, I don't really need them. Haha, hold thine applause, for there is a bonus reward for the victor who, by the end of this match, carries more badges. Thou shalt attain the role of a protagonist in this theatrical play of my making, Fixer Chronicles. Yue Fei. 'Tis an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm still not really... It's not doing anything for either of us. It's still a pretty useless reward, but if you're turning this into a competition, I won't lose. Seriously? What? Scared you'll lose? Is history your weakness or something? Ha, I'll have you know that I was the teacher's pet in every single history class I took. I don't doubt that. And I'll have you know that I was, no matter the subject, showered with praise from every master I ever had. Okay, that's how you want to play it. I'll have you know that I was a prodigy in other classes too. I did great in our classes. Pretty good in math too. I was just being humble, because I didn't want to steal your thunder, Ji-Chun. And let me tell you that I was... this is literally like the... My dad could beat up your dad. And like the... Yeah, well, my dad works for this company. And it's like some random game. And then it's like... Oh, then let me tell you that I was trained in the mastery of at least 10 different disciples every single day. And on one of those days, you know what one of my masters told me? He said, looks like Miss Jia Chun's finally getting a feel for how friendships close in age are forged in school. That's good. No matter how excellent her masters were, there are some experiences you just can't learn from teachers. ... I tick-tocked in response. Tis year 505. What is the historical community's consensus of the most illustrious battle that Fixer Yue Fei is said to have partaken in? Allow me to impart to thee a major clue if thou hadst paid attention as I discoursed upon the 5 pillages in which the Fixer Yue Fei was mentioned. This should not be a difficult question to answer. The honorable Fixer of the Cerulean Heaven, who attained triumph in the Battle of the Rhino Tree in the year 465, hath said what was the worst ordeal she had to face in her career. I've got it. It's when she had to forge onward despite watching her dear comrades fall one by one as they held the line to buy her time. I was too slow. Fie, young Ji-chun, thou art incorrect. Honorable Fixer of the Cerulean Heaven is recorded to have testified that the worst ordeal in her career was when she forced to stand before her enemies with hair that was not luscious, as the supply line breakage caused her regular delivery of nutritional supplements to cease. What thou hast suggested, young Ji-chun, was her 17th most difficult ordeal. She's speaking like she was actually there. That impression is quite understandable, for I am trained in the ways of vividly regaling these tales, but most of these are tales I've learned from books. Much did I anticipate an opportunity to regale these tales to such an audience. Enough to study the ways of minstrels. It's a soup, you know. Wait, no, that's minestrone soup. That's what I'm thinking of. The vegetable one, you know what I mean? There was a clever look of pride in her twinkling eyes. Isn't that the pose from that one TV show or something? Time certainly flies when hearing the tales of exciting adventures. Oh, if only you didn't waste your turn order. What was the secret technique Honorable Fixer Lysander employed in his resolution of the case on the Fey Forest? Speak its name in full. I've got it. A Summer Night Fantasia. Yet I cannot let pass such an unmotivated retelling of his super ultimate move. Hardly could one internalize the true noble spirit of Fixers by simply reciting it with such apathy. Thou must recreate the exact pose and the enunciation. Did they make it canon in the game? Oh, are you kidding me? Come on, you can do this, Ji-chun. You can do this. This is nothing. Illusions of a midsummer night shall devour thee whole. Summer Night Fantasia. Thine enunciation was quite shaky upon the word illusions, yet thou hast demonstrated sufficient courage. Thus I bestow upon thee this badge. I grow tired of this nonsense. Just how much longer are you planning to drag this on? Thus muttered the hero, then declared, I shall tear this evil storm asunder, and find a place for the blade at the center of thy heart. this in the first half. Dude, this is such genius writing. Oh my god. Dante, lights, left side. Dude, I like the way everyone's getting so into it. Don Quixote was watching Sinclair and Gigi Chun's two-person play. Silently wiped her tears away. Bravo, bravo. Certain minor details were missed, such as that Yue Fei, the fixer, was left-handed, and that he had a habit of playing with a lighter in his left pocket before every duel, yet it was a wonderful reenactment indeed. I have no other critique to impart upon thee. Tis was indeed absolute if cinema. When faced with great adversity in thine adventures, rekindle the memory of Yue Fei, the fixer's final duel. Remember it well. Thus cometh to an end the lessons of today. Huh, it's just for a moment, but I think I'm starting to get it. Yeah, why she's so obsessed with these. I'm so obsessed with fixers. Clutches tightly in Ji-Chun's hands were the badges of Don Quixote had gifted her to her. Something about adventures. Okay, you do not need. You can't overcap on morale. Now he's gonna bring your morale back down. This is why you want to switch the order. Ren plus 22. Okay. Ooh. Wow. Okay. So this is 14. 8 plus 14 is something. But what it's not is more than 30. So I think this... Wait, actually, can I do this? Oh, can you not... Can you not double up on classes? That's interesting. Okay, what time is it? Okay, I know this is gonna be a yap fest with Faust. I just know it. So... Oh, no, we gotta get to the wit game part of the wit game, though. Oh, okay. I really hope this doesn't take too long. Oh, that was so loud. Boom. It's a component partaken from structure forms of H chords may prove to be an opportunity to conduct an in-depth analysis of nature, former H chord singularity, observing something a long time. What kind of upbeat today, Miss Faust? She's smiling. I think she is. And the opportunity to study the old H chord singularity is not comes often potential inspiration in Mephistopheles. I have requested a small part of the bus's engine, but it was denied a shame. Aren't you only built Mephistopheles though, from Miss Faust? Mephistopheles is indeed Faust's work, but not all of it was mine. It's possible that Faust may never reveal every small detail that went into his creation. That's really interesting. Huh. I'd very much enjoy a chance to completely disassemble it, even its engines, so that it could be reassembled with my own hands. Yeah, sure. Oh, that was faster than unexpected. Based on the skills I learned, I managed to recreate the model of the machine from Faust's blueprint. Ooh, 35. 35. Oh, is that because of that? Oh, bonus. That's why. So that's how it works. I think I get it. Didn't think this is how I'd get to learn more about the old Age Corp. I don't think I can do much against the reconstruction days right now, but This knowledge will certainly come in handy when the day comes for me to gradually dismantle that iniquitous thing. The day when Hongyuan can be a place where people can live without fear. Without the fear of the encroaching reconstruction days, without obsessively recounting their rooms to see if they'll fall or not. Until Hongyuan can be a place where you can sleep with the promise of safe tomorrow. I'm sure you'll pull it off. Oh, and I learned a lot during this lesson too much fast time. Also, the voltage must have been set too high. Repeating experiments with a different combustion of fuses and wires. There was supposed to be a lesson somewhere in there, right? Okay, he's zooming in. 26. Okay. Class success rate plus 40%. Oh, I guess Dawn's combos give her bonus success rate. Time certainly flies when hearing the tales of exciting adventures. Yeah, more out of 100. Just like we want. Class, passion, and dream on. Hold to expert. Plus 40! Ji-chun gained max 60 HP. What is that from, though? What did she gain that from? Okay. Upgrade. Do we want to max humanity? Or do we want to level this? Actually, does this... Oh, that decreases morale. You know, we could probably do that, honestly. Oh, let's see the combo. Oh, that's interesting. So I guess they all have their own bonus. So G and Ren. I guess we don't need max success rate. Oh yeah, her stats, she doesn't give a lot. So I think we could do this. Morale -6, -8. Alright, yeah, that looks good. Wait, so 6, 6, 8, that's 14, 20, right? It should be, at least. We don't really want to do this yet, because we don't need to... This is like our rest button, basically. Unlike some other classes, which are more on the upbeat side of things. The rooms are filled with and solid, and as soon as everyone saw what Gregor had written on the chalkboard. On war. Interesting. Losing a wing war leaves a much larger, longer-lasting impact than some medium-sized enterprise closing up shop. Might be too soon to talk about this, but we came pretty darn close to one recently, didn't we? We were this close to a large-scale war breaking out right here, which absolutely would have happened if Miss Ji-chun here failed to finish her ascension. It would have spread like wildfire too. So my class is going to be about what exactly happens when a war. Oh. A piece of chalk slipped from Gregor's fingers as he went to scribble something on the board. His left hand was trembling as though the room's temperature had plummeted only for him. Man, why's it gotta... Excuse me, Miss Zeeley, is it okay if I smoke? Go ahead. You good? Puff. Well, when else am I gonna get a chance to share the realities of war right to a wing chief executive officer's face, huh? I kind of forget that she's the leader of a wing now. It's kind of crazy. The moments that just don't come off your skin, no matter how hard you scrub at them. Hey, take a break if you need it. Go in and listen to every word you have to say here today, no matter how long it takes. Man, do I appreciate that sentiment. Although they got a cap of 30 days. Well, still though, I can't dilly-dally when Miss Shichun's got other stuff to deal with, huh? So, let's take a look at how things were at the very beginning of the Wing War. Now, I know enough about urban and trench warfare to give an explanation of my own through the way they're smiling during this class. Ooh, 12 and 12. No combo though. Okay. And that's why smoke war fronts were mostly characterized by trench warfare. Unwanted to risk fighting in concrete jungles where they could be surrounded by enemies at all times, so everyone tried to draw each other out to an open field battle, which naturally turned into trench warfare. Of course, every wing is a different singularity, so this isn't really applicable to all cases. It's just that the former G-Corp found flat plains easier to maneuver. I feel like Daeguanyuan could make a pretty good use of Hongyuan as a defensive fortress, especially with its internal structure constantly shifting around, which the Heisho know and use very well. Exactly. That should explain. I'm gonna drink water. Exactly, this should explain why they were hesitating outside Daeguanyuan. Remember the thumb fellas? The ones we met who were going in circles. Not to mention how the Heisho will utilize the topography of Hongyuan differently. Even if an outsider were to get a read on how one of the branches maneuver around Hongyuan, as long as the 12 Heisho branches are standing, Hongyuan is unassailable. Well, despite going into all that, I'm sure we all know what the best answer is in all warfare is not having a war in the first place. I'll be honest, I can't stop thinking about some of the stories you've been telling us. I can't even imagine what it would have been like that. We did visit your fathoms, Gregor, but that wasn't even the tip of the iceberg. Said he was devoured in smoke and innocence madness. He always shrugged off those stories as ramblings of the past, but during the war he stood at the very center of the Harlow's machine that was the city. Every year calibrated its slaughterhouse and precision maximized the stiff of people. There must have been things for hours on the city presently has to offer. His eyes beyond the veil of the bygone past, shaking restlessly in pursuit of what was no more. Oh boy, sorry fellas. I'm afraid I got carried away lamenting. Lament. What happened that I forgot this was supposed to be a class. I'll be sure to prep something more useful next time. I don't know, everything you told me really solidified my resolve. This chaos within Hongyuan really needs to come to an end soon, unless something so horrible could happen. Back to my next class. Good for me. Even after the two students had left, Gregor lingered in that room for a while, lighting up cigarette after cigarette without erasing what he wrote on the chalkboard. Smoke soon filled the room. He left only after emptying the entire pack. Okay. I'll try to get more true. Okay. 26. Okay. Did I miss a chance to upgrade Don Quixote? Hold on, let's see the net gain. 2 to 11. That would be 15. 2 to 9. That would be 13. 1, 6, 6. 13. 6, 6, 1, 13. 2, 5, 2. 9. Okay. I want to level Faust, so I think doing this, okay, 12, that would put her down to like, okay, less than, okay, that would be at like 68, so then we gotta put her back at cap. Because I do want to level fast. Because, you know, whip game and all that. But also, I just think it would make sense to level everyone up. Although, I don't know if it might be just worth focusing on one aspect. I don't know. I mean, also, because the thing with Yi-Song is that a lot of people seem to give this stat, so I don't know how exactly useful it is. So it's kind of weird that Yi-Song gives humanity and not wisdom. I'll actually know with his Kanto it makes sense, never mind. Alright. Okay, I think I have to pause it here for today. Because I do have to I gotta end stream, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, this has been very interesting so far. And yeah. Okay, I'm gonna hope it saves like that. To window. Save progress. Yeah. Okay. Dude, this is really cool. I'm guessing the fights in the future and stuff will be over there. I'm guessing this is the only mode, or this is the only level where you actually do the class stuff. But it's really cool. So I'll probably... Oh, I shouldn't have used that, actually, it's fine. I have 140 boxes, it doesn't matter. But, what? Achievements. Oh. Oh, so that's how it works. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil myself by looking at the achievements. Dude, that's cool. It's really cool. But, yeah.
임무 완료. 절차대로 복귀하겠습니다. 교신 끝.
Definitely really cool. So, yeah, I'll probably continue this tomorrow. But as for today, I gotta close this game, bro. You can probably tell by my voice. Like, I've had to be quiet this whole time. And it's so hard to talk low like this. Like, I'm like peeking my mic. Alright. I will probably continue tomorrow, honestly. But for today, that's gonna be it. So, thanks for watching. Feel free to watch when I'm actually playing the game, because I have a feeling until I get all of the stats, I'm not actually going to be able to play the game yet. Which, I know it's been very slow. And I never do the, oh wow, my mouse is in OBS, I see it in the game too. Okay, hold on, I'm getting distracted. What was I saying? Something about Uma Musume. Oh yeah, I always skip the dialogue in there, so I'm not used to I'm not used to having to read in this game. But yeah. So hopefully once the reading is done, then we can actually and doing achievements too, I'll be able to skip the dialogue. But yeah. Alright. See you in the next one. Oh, and And if I am able to do this in another stream, I can probably change I can probably add the eyes and the hair to the thumbnail for details. But yeah. Alright. See you next time. Bye. Your stream will stop.